Good morning. This is a two-part series about least common multiple and greatest common factor. In this first video, we are going to be talking about the least common multiple or least common denominator. We want to find this when we are adding or subtracting fractions because we need to have our denominators need to be the same in order to add or subtract. So to start, we're going to review what a multiple is. So multiple is when I count up by that number. So if I start with 4, multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So those are my multiples of 4. So we count by 4s and we multiply by 4. So today we're going to do an addition problem, and we are going to start with 1/4 plus 1/4. As you remember, when we add or subtract fractions, our denominator must be the same. Our denominator stays the same, and we simply add the numerator. So 2/4. Now, in the instance that our fractions have unlike denominators, we must find the least common multiple or denominator. You could see this written as LCM or LCD. This multiple or denominator indicates the same thing, but we're looking at the bottom number of our fraction. So to find the least common multiple, I'm going to start by looking at my multiples of 4. So I've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, and I could keep going, but remember we're looking for the least common multiple or denominator, so we want to keep these numbers small so they're easier to work with. Now I'm going to find multiples of 5, which means I'm going to be counting by 5. So I'm starting with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I could keep going, but I'm going to stop here because, again, I want the smallest common denominator, the smallest common multiple. That's what we mean by least. It means the smallest. So I'm going to circle 20 in both lines because they have that same multiple in common. Now that I found the common multiple, what I need to do is I need to change the denominator. So I'm going to take my problem and I'm going to set it up again, except 20 is now my denominator. So I'm going to take that 4 and I'm going to figure out what I multiplied by to get to 20. So I can see I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or I could use my multiplication chart. Either way, I know 4 times 5 equals 20. Now whatever I do to the denominator of a fraction, I need to do to the numerator. So I'm also going to multiply that 9 by 5. So I'm going to get 5 20ths. So 1/4 equals 5 20ths. Now I'm going to do the same thing with 1/5. And again, I'm going to do 5 times 4 equals 20. And then I'm going to do the same to my numerator. So now I'm going to, remember I kept my denominators the same across my problem. I set it up as 20ths. And I'm going to add the numerator. So 5 20ths and 4 20ths equals 9 20ths. We're going to do one more example. And then you'll have some practice on your own. So if I have 2/6 plus 2/9, I need to find my least common multiple. Now one common way of doing this is you can take both denominators and multiply them together. Now if I did this, if I did 6 times 9 and 9 times 6, I would have to do the same to the top. So I would end up with 18 54ths plus 12 54ths. Now I want to avoid this because I don't need to work with numbers this big. If we take a look at the multiples of 6 and 9, we're going to find they have a lower multiple in common. So I'm going to start by counting up by 6s. So 6, 12, 18, and I'm actually going to stop there because I know 2 times 9 equals 18. So if I counted up by 9s, I would stop at 18. they both have 18 in common. So now what I did is the same in the last problem. I'm going to reset up my problem. I'm going to put 18 as my denominator, even in my answer, because I want that denominator roots to stay the same. I'm going to say, what did I do to get from 6 to 18? Remember, we are multiplying. So 6 times 3 equals 18. And whatever I do to my denominator, I need to do to my numerator. So 2 times 3 equals 6. And then I'm going to look at my 9. 9 times 2 equals 18. So I'm going to do the same to my numerator up here. 2 times 2 equals 4. I'm going to keep my denominator the same, and I'm going to add the numbers on the top. So there I end with 10/18. In the next video, we are going to practice on finding the greatest common factor so we can reduce these fractions. Alright, thank you for watching this video.